Almost everyone who sells covered calls does it the same way, and almost everyone leaves money on the table because of it. You own a stock, you sell a call against it, you get paid. That's it. Most people think that's the whole system, but it's not. And the reason they're missing money isn't complicated. It's like they're treating the income like it's a side effect when it really should be the entire point. Here's what happens in the typical covered call scenario. You buy a stock that you believe in, let's say Apple or whatever, you're confident, you own it, and then you think, okay, I might as well sell a call against it, generate some income. So you sell a call, maybe 30 days out, strike at 140. You collect $200 in premium, and that feels good, right? It's free money, right? But then the stock moves. It moves up past your strike, your shares get called away, you sell them at 140 and you're done, you're out, no stock, no more income, and you watch it run to 160 over the next 6 months. Sound familiar? Well, that's where the error lives. The cap is not a bug, it's a feature, but only if you manage it. Most people don't think of it as management at all. They think of it as just bad luck. Stock went up, call got assigned, life goes on, but that's not what actually works. What actually works is this. You never take assignment, or you rarely take assignment on a winner. You should roll. Rolling means this. Your call is about to get assigned because the stock's in the money. Instead of letting it happen, you buy it back. You close the call and then you sell a new call. Higher strike, further out, higher premium, and then you collect more juice. You stay in the stock. The winner stays working for you. That's the real system. Not sell and forget, sell and roll. Roll and compound. And the reason most people don't do this is because they were taught the wrong mental model. They learned that covered calls are a way to juice returns on a stock that you don't care about. Something boring, something you'll be fine exiting, like maybe a utility or a telecom. Generate a little return, take assignment, move on. But that's not actually where the money is. The money is in selling calls on stocks you actually want to own. Stock that you believe in long term, and then collecting monthly income off those winners by rolling every single month. Let me show you the difference between the two paths. Path one is you own Microsoft, let's say. You sell a call, you collect premium, assignment happens, and you're out. Stock runs another 20%, and you collected your premium. You're up 18% total. Not bad. You move on to the next stop. Path two, you own Microsoft again or whatever, and then you sell a call. You collect premium. The stock runs towards your strike. You roll. You buy the call back. You sell a higher call. You collect more premium, and the stock runs further, and then you roll again. Same stock, different income stream. I want to show you a real example from my own portfolio. And I don't usually do the nitty-gritty on the numbers because the numbers change, but the principle here is what matters. So a few months ago, I sold a call, 45 days out, strike at 460, collected $400 in premium. The stock ran up, the call got in the money, and then I rolled. I didn't take assignment. I bought the 460 call back for $500. So I gave back $200 of my original premium. Net, I was up $200 on that transaction. And then I sold a new call 50 days out. Strike at 480. I collected $600. And now I've collected $1,000 total in premium. My shares are still mine, and I'm getting paid again if it runs. The stock ran again. My 480 call is in the money again. I'm 3 weeks out. I roll again. Buy back for $700, sell a new call. $500 strike, 5 more days. I collect $850. Net gain of $150 on that roll. Now I'm at $1,150 collected. Same stock, I still own it. And now here's the thing. If I'd let that first call get assigned at 460, I would have exited. I would have been done. I'd have collected $400. The stock since then went to $510. And that's $50 of upside that I would have missed. But it's not just the upside. It's the income stream that kept compounding. See, by rolling, I stayed in the winner, and I collected monthly income instead of a one-time fee. Rolling works really for 3 reasons. First, you compound. Every month you're collecting premium on a stock that you keep, and it multiplies. Second, you stay in the trend. The stock's going up, you're still there for it, you don't get shaken out. And third, you're generating monthly income, not a one-time payout. It's like the difference between a dividend and a retirement fund. One keeps giving and one doesn't. Now, there is a time to take assignment. If you sell a call and the stock doesn't run and expiration comes and you're out of the money, you keep the premium and the stock. And that's the baseline. But if you're in the money and you still believe in the stock, rolling is almost always better than exiting. The only time you take assignment is if you no longer want to own the stock. If the thesis is broken, if the company has degraded, then fine, exit. But if it's a winner and you believe in it, you roll. Most of the time anyway. The income here is the point, not the cap, not the strike, the income, the juice. And the cap is a feature, not a bug, but only if you manage it right. Most people just don't manage it. They just let it happen. And they let it get assigned. And then they exit. And then they lose. But when you understand that the cap is just a part of a rolling system, then the cap becomes the mechanism that forces you to collect premium every month. It's pretty elegant, actually. The cap isn't a limit. It's a schedule. The mental shift you need to make is this. Stop thinking of covered calls as a way to make quick returns on a stock that you're bored with. Start thinking of them as a mechanism to generate monthly income on the stocks that you love. Own great companies. Sell calls against them. When they run, roll. Collect premium every week or every month. That's the system. That's how you compound real money over years, not just weeks. But here's what most people miss. They see covered calls as a hack, a way to eke out an extra 1 or 2%. So they do it on stocks that they don't love, and then they don't understand why it doesn't work. It doesn't work because they're using the wrong vehicle for the wrong reason. Use it on stocks that you actually want long term, stocks with momentum, stocks that you believe in, and then roll every month or every week. And then you're not trying to just juice a boring position. You're generating a real income stream. Let's talk about the math for a second, and just kind of bear with me on the math. So if you own a stock at, say, $100 and you sell a call every month and you average, say, 2 or 3% premium a month, that's 12 to 36% per year just from selling the calls. And that's before any stock appreciation. Most dividend stocks pay 3%. So you're more than doubling what you get from just rolling the calls, and you still own the stock. You're amplifying that just from rolling calls, and you still own the stock. You still get the appreciation if it runs. You're compounding from both angles. Now, the risk everyone worries about is, what if the stock crashes? What if you get stuck rolling calls lower and lower as the price drops? Fair question, but here's the thing. If the stock crashes, your covered call isn't the problem. The stock is, and you probably shouldn't own it anymore anyway. Rolling isn't a substitute for good stock picks. It's an amplifier. It amplifies returns on good picks. If you own bad stocks, rolling is not going to save you. But if you own good stocks, rolling transforms the returns. Make sense? The reason most people don't roll is because it takes work. You have to pay attention. You have to monitor your position. You have to decide when and how to roll. You can't just set it and forget it. And frankly, a lot of brokers and other teachers make it really confusing. They don't explain rolling. They don't incentivize it. So people just let things happen. The call expires in the money. They get assigned. They move on. But that's a choice. A bad one usually. Rolling requires discipline. You have to set a threshold. Mine is simple. If a call is in the money and I still own the stock, I roll almost every time, with almost no exceptions. I don't try to be clever. I don't try to time it. I just have a rule that tells me when to roll. And that discipline turns rolling from a complicated decision into a system, and systems can scale. And I want to show you the flip side, a stock that I got wrong. About a year ago, I owned a position in a semiconductor stock. Not NVIDIA. I was a smaller player. I sold a call 30 days out. The stock was pretty quiet. It didn't move. The call expired out of the money. I kept the premium. I kept the stock. No problem. But then the stock didn't run. It drifted. Eventually, I got bored and frustrated, and I sold it at a small loss. Turns out I shouldn't have rolled it because I should have never owned the stock to begin with. The covered call can't fix a bad stock pick. The core insight here is this. Covered calls are a compounding mechanism, not a return generator. They don't create the returns. They amplify the returns. So if you sell calls on winners, you multiply your income. If you sell calls on losers, you slow the bleeding, but you're still bleeding. So the first thing to get right is the stock pick. The second thing is rolling. Everything else is just noise. How often should you roll? Well, on a weekly, I roll weekly. When I do monthlies, I roll monthly. That's my system. I sell a call about 30 to 45 days out. When it gets close to the expiration, If it's monthly and in the money, I roll to the next month. Higher strike or similar duration, or even the same, I kind of do the same thing. And some people roll quarterly, some people roll every week. The frequency doesn't matter as much as the consistency. So pick a system and stick to it. The compounding only works if you keep on doing it, because there's a psychological element here too. When you roll, you're not taking assignment. You're not getting that lump sum. You're generating a monthly check instead, and that just feels different. It feels like income, and it is. It's real cash that you can use or you can reinvest. Most people don't think about income from capital markets that way. They think about appreciation, but income compounds just like appreciation does. I say that so often till I'm blue in the face, but it's so important. Income is important. Actually, it compounds faster because you can control income. And here's the contrarian part of what I'm saying. Everyone says, buy and hold, own the stock forever, don't sell calls. Covered calls cap your upside. Well, that's partially true, but what if capping your upside at a predictable level over and over is actually better than hoping for home runs that might not come? A stock that runs 30% a year is great, but a stock that generates 30% from calls alone while you keep the stock and it appreciates is better. You're multiplying returns. You're not replacing the returns. And what stops most people from rolling is that they don't understand the system in the first place. They never had it explained to them this way. They think covered calls are a one-time thing. Sell, collect, either keep the stock or get assigned, and that's it. End of story. No one taught them that rolling is the actual system, that the magic isn't the individual premium. The magic is the monthly repetition. The compounding of small amounts over time into something significant. Think about it this way. If you own a stock for 5 years and you roll calls every month, that's like 60 times that you're selling a call, right? 60 individual premium payments. Even if they're small, and even if some don't materialize because the stock drifts lower and you don't roll, you're still creating significant income streams from that action, right? That's compound interest. That's wealth building, not from the appreciation of the stock, which may never come, but alongside it. That's the whole point. Why is this so important now? Because interest rates have been high and eking a little higher right now. People have been getting better yields just by parking money in money market funds. That is not sustainable. At some point, rates come down. At some point, you're going to need other sources of income. Covered calls are a real repeatable source. If you learn to roll them, you could generate 8, 10, 12% annually just from calls alone. And that's real. That's sustainable. That's better than chasing after momentum stock. Let me break down the system one more time so it's crystal clear. Step 1, you own stocks that you believe in, real companies, businesses that you would own even without the call strategy. Step 2, you sell a call against them. 3 to 6 weeks out, you collect premium. And then step 3, if the stock runs and the call goes in the money, well, there's a point there where you roll. You buy it back, you sell a higher call, you collect more premium. Step 4, you repeat month after month, year after year, the income compounds, you stay in your winners, and you stop leaving money on the table. Most people sell covered calls wrong. They treat it like a one-time transaction. Sell, hope for the best, take assignment if it happens, but it's not a transaction, it's a system. And the system is rolling. That's where the money is. Not in any individual call, but in the compounding of dozens of calls over months and years. And once you understand that, once you commit to rolling instead of getting assigned, the game changes. And the income becomes real. And the compound returns become significant. That's the actual system that works. If this resonated with you, if you felt this exact pain, if you've gotten assigned and watched your winners run without you, I built something that's for people like you in exactly this situation. It's called the cash flow machine. It's a system for generating monthly income or weekly income by rolling covered calls on stocks that you already own. I'm talking strategy, specifics, how to set this up, how to manage it, how to not leave money on the table. Go to cashflowmachine.net and check it out. The link is in the description, and that's where this system becomes real. In fact, if you want to take your knowledge to the next level, we have an event coming up that's live in Clearwater Beach, Florida at the end of October 2026. And it's just for a few people. It's a workshop, so bring your laptop. We've got early bird pricing going on right now. And if you can make it, I'd love to see you there. If you're interested, go to cashflowmachine.net/events. This video is for information and education purposes. It is not financial advice, but I hope to see you either at the live event or on the next video. Take care. Bye.